The future. It was March 10, 2013, and I was on my way home. The night was dark, with no lights to guide me, yet I managed to find my way back. My room is upstairs, so I had to climb the stairs carefully. With barely enough light to see the steps, I made my way up. After passing the first floor, I turned right and continued climbing. I stopped on the second floor, where my room is located. As I approached the door, I realized it was locked. That's when it hit me. I had forgotten to bring the key, which I had hidden in a shoe. Reluctantly, I went back downstairs. Descending the stairs was trickier than climbing them. One misstep could have been disastrous. Taking each step cautiously, I finally reached the ground floor without incident. I began searching for the key in the left shoe, convinced that's where I had hidden it. When I didn't find it there, I started to worry. Then I checked the other shoe, and to my relief, the key was right where I had left it. What a stroke of luck, I thought to myself. I picked up the key and absent-mindedly played with the keychain, a handmade woolen heart, as I walked back upstairs. When I reached the door, the darkness made it difficult to see. I used one hand to feel for the lock and held the key in the other. With careful coordination, I managed to insert the key and unlock the door. Finally, after a long day, I was home. I felt happy, relaxed, and relieved. I wanted to switch on the lights because for the past 15 minutes I had been struggling to do everything in the dark. I ran my hand over the switchboard and turned on the bulb. To my surprise, the bulb didn't work. I assumed there might be a power outage in the area. Feeling dismayed, I sat on the floor. As my hands brushed against the ground, I could feel papers scattered everywhere. I had no idea what they were due to the darkness, so I ignored them and simply sat there. I removed my socks and stretched my legs, utterly exhausted. I didn't know the exact time, but I guessed it was might be around 1 a.m. Lost in my thoughts, I was anxious when a sudden bright light pierced the darkness and stung my eyes. Shielding them with my fingers, I squinted to look around. What I saw sent shivers down my spine. Jess! I shouted in shock. This wasn't the room I had seen in the morning. Papers were scattered everywhere, toys were broken, and my beloved teddy bear was torn apart, its face smeared with what looked like blood. A deep sense of confusion and fear overtook me as I searched for the clues to understand what had happened. I noticed shreds of broken glasses on the floor. Just as I was about to step on them, I quickly changed the direction. But unfortunately, I stepped on the sharp piece of a clay pot instead. A sudden sharp pain shot through me as my soul began to bleed profusely. Despite the pain, I walked around the room searching for answers, leaving a trail of blood in my wake. When I saw my books covered in blood stains, I tried to clean them, but to my horror, the stains spread, leaving the books soaked in the red. Suddenly, I heard the sound of water gushing from the bathroom tap, so loud it felt as though it was roaring at me. Before I could fully register what was happening, water began flowing into the room, spreading rapidly across the floor. It felt as if the water had a will of its own, trying to overpower me and claim the room. I backed away, desperate to avoid touching it. The mixture of blood and water created a horrifying red fluid that filled the room. It seemed as though the water was trying to communicate with me, though I couldn't understand what it wanted. I felt utterly helpless. The entrance door was far away. I couldn't muster the strength to reach it. My blood mixed with water, and soon the room was submerged in the red colored liquid. Overwhelmed and terrified, I covered my eyes with my hands. As I moved, my fingers accidentally pressed a button on the floor. Suddenly, everything went blank. The room was silent, shrouded in darkness once more. It felt like I had been transported to a different place. Exhausted and drained, I didn't even realize when I fell asleep. When I woke up, I found myself staring at a massive machine. Its screen displayed a message. Congratulations, you have traveled through time and are now 6 years, 6 hours, and 6 minutes ahead. I glanced at the clock. It was 8 a.m. I remembered seeing the time as 2 a.m. earlier. Exactly 6 hours had passed. Looking around, I noticed the room was clean and bright. There was no water, no blood, no broken glasses, no clay shreds. Everything was back to normal. I convinced myself it must have been a bad dream and dismayed the strange machine, assuming someone had left it there as a prank. Relieved, I massaged my aching foot. But then I noticed a large scar on my left sole. The memory of stepping on the clay shred came flooded back. My heart raced as I rushed to check the calendar. It read March 10, 2019. Thank you.